Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a new video. I hope you're doing well. For the past 6 to 7 months, I've been living in 3 different continents and 4 different countries. It's been quite the roller coaster, and currently I'm in beautiful Manhattan in New York City, a place I always dreamed about going to ever since I was a kid, and I think that's a situation for most people, right? I mean, you've seen it in the movies. I would definitely recommend New York City. The people are incredibly friendly. It's a super clean city. It's ambitious, it's inspiring. If you're thinking about going to New York, please do. I'm also fortunate to stay down here for a month due to personal and business reasons, but that really gives me the time to explore the city and kind of experience New York instead of just being here for 5 days or something. So I'm super fortunate to be here for this time. And like I said, I've been living in 4 different countries for the past 6 months. So I've been traveling a lot, even though I always try to find a home base. So I try to get into my routine, get a desk, an office setup, a monitor, a gym, everything has to kind of align for me to feel at home in a place, which currently I'm very efficient at and currently set up very quickly because I get quite used to it. So I've been in Spain, I've been in Brazil, I've been in Colombia, and right now I'm in New York City, so in the US. And funny enough, and I'm going to get into what we're actually going to talk about today, but funny enough, out of all those 4 places, I think I found a place that actually feels like home. And before this, a couple years ago, I was living in Bali. I lived there for almost 2 years, which is an incredible place. I mean, if you're thinking about Bali, go. Please go to Bali. It's a fantastic island. But I've been living in Colombia for 4 months, 4 to 5 months, in Medellin, which is one of the biggest cities in Colombia. And I've absolutely fallen in love with the country. People there are undescribably friendly. The food there is amazing. The city is beautiful. The infrastructure is incredible. And it's a place where I don't have that feeling of like, okay, I'll be here for maybe 6 months, maybe a year. No, I have the feeling like I could actually live here, like settle down here, which is crazy because I have been in multiple countries in my life and I never really had that feeling. To be honest, I mean, I've been in places where I thought I'd end up and live for a long time. I mean, Bali was one of those places, but eventually I kind of outgrew Bali, so I wanted to discover new places. But Medellin has it all. It has culture, it has incredible weather, it has nature, it has city life, it has all the amenities you want and need, it has luxury. It's just beautiful, all right? And being here in New York City makes me kind of think about a lot of things because I just realized like exactly how to start this video. I've been living in 3 different continents and 4 different countries in the past 6 months. And I just realized like, what? I mean, if I would tell people this back home, they would not believe that I'm doing this, right? But what I wanted to talk about today is the importance of having an international mindset. And what I also wanted to talk about today is your environment shapes your standard. Right? Your environment shapes your standard. And before I started traveling, before I started my own business, if your environment is limited to a certain aspect, right? So the people around you are not as ambitious, they don't really have the goals you have, or they don't want to do the things that you want to do, it is incredibly unmotivating, right? And I've noticed that once you take that step of just getting into that plane, it doesn't matter, it could be the neighboring country, just go live somewhere else. And then suddenly everything changes because the people are different, because they think differently, because they might have already achieved whatever it is that you want to achieve. And for me, that was Bali. And it's a long story, but I eventually chose to leave the Netherlands, where I'm originally from, and go live in Bali right away. I've never been to Asia, never been on a long flight as that. I just chose to go. Let's go. Let's do it. And suddenly, because I have a very strong opinion about Dutch culture, suddenly I wasn't surrounded by negative people, pessimistic people, people who laughed at success in a negative way. I was surrounded by entrepreneurs. I was surrounded by dream chasers. I was surrounded by people who think health is super important. I was surrounded by people who want to make the most out of life. And I felt home. I felt home. And that is, I think, a quote where I always think about is most people don't lack opportunity, they lack perspective. And if you get perspectives from people all around the world, which I'm now in a luxury position to say, it makes you rich, right? And if you think about rich, you probably associate that with wealth and money. Oh yes, but not rich in that sense. Rich in a way of being able to learn from all kinds of people from all parts of the world is an incredible, enriching experience. Because people have so much wisdom, right? People have so much unique perspectives on things in life. And if you're able to get that from someone from Indonesia and from someone in Brazil and in Colombia and in Spain and in New York, it's just incredibly motivating. And I think that's just so important, like, because a couple years ago, I was so annoyed by the fact that my environment was so unmotivating. People were not as ambitious. They didn't want to go abroad. They wanted to stay in their country, which is fine. But having ambitious people around me was always this need I had. I always had to want and need ambitious people around me, right? Because people around you should push you to go beyond your limits. And I didn't have that in the Netherlands. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I moved, why I left. And I think I've changed a lot in the past couple of years by just meeting so many incredible people. And also by becoming a business owner. I mean, starting your own business will change your personality quite quickly and roughly in a positive way, but still doesn't always feel that positive. Without further ado, I'm super grateful for all the people that I've met. I'm super grateful for all the lessons I've gotten from running a business and from being around so many inspiring people. And what I also really like is the quote that says, you don't rise into a new life, you grow into it. Right? Sometimes people always have this need to be ready for something. You have to have this and that arranged. Just take the step, take the leap. You know, when it feels scary to jump, that's exactly when you jump, because that's where you learn the most. And to get back on the fact that I'm in New York for personal but also business reasons, my business, which is a marketing agency, is doing so well in the Netherlands that I decided, you know what, it's time to stop playing small. It's time to go to the US. So even before I came to New York, already a couple months ago, I decided to take over the US market with my business, because the ambitions that I have for my agency are not limited to a country. You know, it's limited to multiple countries. And if you're talking about ambition, about really scaling the business, if you go from the Netherlands, you look at different markets. I mean, I could help any type of country because we have a digital service that is needed everywhere. But you quickly go to the US, right? You're quickly gonna go to the US. So I'm super excited to be here. I have a couple network events scheduled here to visit, because I'm super excited to get to know, you know, locals, Americans that are running businesses, what their business philosophy is, because Americans treat business in a whole different way than Europeans do, and to just learn from them and to just see what the market is like. But that's also the beauty, you know. I don't like the word limit. No, limit is non-existent. It doesn't exist in my dictionary. So I just love the fact that it was like, okay, Netherlands, we're doing good. We're having around 30 plus clients. Okay, let's go to the US. And that's just it. That's it. That's exactly what I've done. I mean, it's a digital service, so that gives a lot of flexibility. It depends on the business as well. But that just gets me super excited. A new country, different buying power, different size companies. I mean, we're talking about real large size companies. So deal sizes are also increasing, and that just really gets me excited. And I've also built a US based sales team there, which also gets me excited. I love hiring people. I love growing business. And that's something else I wanted to touch base on, is every place in the world gives you different kind of energy, right? And not energy in a spiritual way, let's just say effect on you. You know, Bali has a different effect on me than New York does. And Brazil has a different effect on me than Medellin does. And Spain has a different effect on me than Colombia does. And that's the beauty of it. Because besides the fact that you're learning from people, and that gives a lot of richness and wisdom, you also learn from a place. And New York gives me that fire to build, to grow, to work so hard that even 4 generations after me, they'll still remember my name. And don't get me wrong, that's not what I'm working for, but that is something that I think will happen regardless for if I want it or not. And that's also another very beautiful quote. If your ambition doesn't scare your current environment, it's too small. Because people around you, if they don't laugh at your dreams, even if they're good people, if they don't laugh at your dreams, your ambitions are not small enough. Right? It's got to be so crazy. Why not reach for the hardest possible thing to achieve? You only live once, right? I mean, that's my opinion. That's my perspective. But also to get like outside of this entire bubble and like, oh, I'm working remotely. The life most people admire is building moments nobody sees, right? So also, don't get me wrong, I've fallen in love with my life. I'm living the most incredible life, but it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work. Building a business, building this freedom, traveling countries. I mean, that has its effect on you, you know, as on your body and your mental state. Like, I'm in a new country. So don't get me wrong on that. I mean, I'm absolutely in love with my life, but it's also very hard work. And that's why I think that a lot of people want this, but don't really have the discipline to go through it and actually do it. right? Which I would highly recommend, because like I always say, adversity turns into prosperity. Thank you so much for watching this video. I got the sun coming here through here. I'm gonna enjoy the sun a little bit. Thank you so much for watching this video. I want to say that if you're thinking about internationalize, if you're thinking about running an international business, go ahead and do it. Don't wait for anything. Just get started.